Hello everyone, I'm recording this video on New Year's Eve 2024 and I'm really looking forward to sharing with you the journals that I used over the year and the journal that I'm getting ready to start the new year with in 2025. I started the new year with this journal. I started writing this in December of 2023, so I moved into 2024 with it. I bought this journal at Big Lots. It cost me, $5 or so. So I wasn't expecting the highest quality, but I was pretty disappointed when I ended up having to tape the spine together to keep it from falling apart. I used this painter's tape. I was skeptical of whether or not it was gonna hold my journal together because I had to tape it so early during the time I was using this journal. I was worried if it was gonna last the whole time, but the painter's tape did hold up, and even now it's still holding up. And the journal did get stained just from, my journals go from place to place with me, so I'm not surprised it got stained, but, looking at it, it's kind of a bit gross. But, what are you gonna do? It was with me when I was eating and drinking, and it was in my purse, and it was on my desk, and on my kitchen table, and in the kitchen while cooking. All sorts of things like that. One thing I did love about this journal is the fabric. I mean, it's stained, but man, it feels nice. I do have a thing with tactile appreciation. I either love the way something feels to the touch, or I hate the way something feels to the touch, and I do love how this journal feels. The interesting thing about this journal is the pages on the inside. It had the months and the days of the year on the top, and we were meant to just circle the month and the day that we were using, but I did not let the lines or the subject or anything like that was on the page. I didn't let it affect how I did my journaling, so I journaled the exact same way I normally would if none of that stuff was on the page. I think sometimes I may have used it once or twice just to give it a shot, but I don't think I ever used the subject line, and I didn't always even stay inside the margins, although personally I do usually prefer staying inside of margins. I don't know, sometimes I color outside the lines, and I guess sometimes I like to stay inside. And like I said, even though I was rough on this journal and I had to tape it back together, I don't think I was rough enough on it for it to justify the level of falling apart that it actually did. I think I had to tape it together here as well because it just completely disconnected from the spine. I don't think I was hard enough on it for that to happen, but I know I was hard on it. In May, I moved into this tiny little journal. She's so cute. She's short, she's fat, she's pink, and she has the gilded edges. I love this journal. Very cute. I was very happy to use this one. It was just a little different than something I normally use, and it was a fun change. I also bought this journal at Big Lots, and I also had to tape this one back together. I was even gentler on this one than I was the previous one, but I guess just Big Lots journals are just not even worth the price. This sticker was obviously not a part of this journal. It's 𝓁𝑜𝓃𝓈 from Animal Crossing. I love 𝓁𝑜𝓃𝓈. She is the fortune teller, and one of the things she says is, and remember that bad times are just times that are bad. I like that. It's a good reminder. It's something that I need to be reminded of frequently, so I was very excited to put her on the cover of this journal. So yes, this is my second Big Lots journal. I think my only Big Lots journal I have left. I hope so, because they're not good. They're not good quality. Oh, and funnily enough, speaking of this journal and the last journal from Big Lots, during the time of this journal, I quit working at Big Lots. I worked there for a while. That's why I bought a couple of their notebooks. Also, during the time of this journal, I had a traumatic hospital stay. I had an ER visit that ended up getting admitted for a few days, and I had some traumatic health stuff, and I'm still dealing with that. Hopefully, I'm looking forward to better health in 2025, but we'll see. I've learned, this is going to sound awful, I've learned lately to not have hope, because that way I won't be disappointed. I am not a mental health channel. I'm not your therapist, so take whatever I say with a grain of salt, but being hopeless is better for my psyche than having hope. This journal did get titled The Good Witch, which refers to both me and Katrina. So yeah, I like this journal. Very happy with how it turned out. This one was a little interesting experiment here as well. I found out the weight, the starting weight of the journal and the weight when I was done, because I add so much to my journals. I was interested in seeing how much weight I put in there. And yep, this was just a fun little notebook. So I used this through July, and then in July I moved to this journal. It ended up earning the name Brain Ooze. For a while I was just referring to it as my oil slick journal, because that's what my friend Imperfect Pages pointed out that it looks like, and I agreed with her. So I was calling it my oil slick journal there for a little bit. But it's named Brain Ooze. This was a gift from my mother-in-law for my birthday the year before I used it, so 2023. And you know what? It came from, I think, like Dollar General or the Dollar Tree, so I know she didn't pay a lot for it. And this is probably my favorite journal I used from start to finish throughout the year. It's so pretty. It didn't fall apart in any way, and it held up really well for a cheap notebook, and I liked using it, and it was just beautiful. The only part you'll see tape in here, let me show you. Like, you'll see tape right here. That's not because I had to tape this journal back together. It's because it had a sticker page in here. You can see where I cut out the stickers. And the reason I put tape over it is because there was a spot there where it was bothering my hands when I was writing on this page. I probably should have taped this a little bit too, but I didn't. But it was bothering my hands when I was coloring this, so I taped it when I was done so I wouldn't have to rub my hand over it again while filling stuff out. Yeah, I was just not enjoying that, so I put tape over it. But yeah, wasn't falling apart. Looks like it has a little bit of a tear right here starting, but by the time I was done with this journal, it's still in quality good enough to where I feel like I could have kept going in it if it had more pages. But yeah, very cute. The only thing I didn't really like about it is I thought the lines were a bit too wide. I'm more of a college ruled kind of person, and this was definitely more wide ruled. Up next is this awesome Simpsons journal. This was a gift from Spooky Bean Journals. I started this journal on September 30th, and then it went right into October where I started using my Halloween ephemera. I did end up titling this journal Rife with Disease. Oh, I thought I had it on the back, but I guess it's on the inside cover. Here's my I voted early sticker, which did not end up mattering. And let me show you the inside, my inside collage with all the Simpsons stuff, and this was actually printed on the inside cover. I love that image so much. The Rife with Disease title came from my, what's it called, Dymo? Yeah, my Dymo embosser. I use this guy to print out, type out, I guess, emboss out. Rife with Disease. I'm not sure how well you can see it because my lighting is weird and it might be all glare. But yeah, I love this little Simpsons sticker collage. I have so many Simpsons stickers because I've just been given so many over the years, and I bought a pack of my own, and just, I love the Simpsons. So I had enough to make this collage and not really worry about it, and I still have a bunch of stickers left over. I put this little, what's the name of that dude? Tim Holtz. I put this little Tim Holtz Chapter 1 sticker here, and I think I put this here with the intent of writing the date I start and finish this journal, and I never actually went back and did that. You know what? Let's do that while we're together. So like I said, I started this on September 30th, 24. Oh wow, I did not leave myself near enough room, did I? Let me have a look and see where oh wait, no, I remember. I started my next journal on December 17th. So this would have went to 12, 16, 24. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry for just a second, and then we're gonna look more at this journal. I had a lot of distraught feelings in this journal, so maybe not great emotional connection when I'm done with it, but I have a connection to this journal just because of the Simpsons and Spooky Beans. She's just such a wonderful person, and yeah, so I connect with this journal for other reasons other than what I put in it. There's a lot of bad thoughts and disappointments in here. I struggled a lot with this notebook. Spiral bounds have never been my favorite thing, and it's difficult for me because I puff up my journals so much that the pages get really difficult to turn. So I found this a challenging and frustrating journal to get through, but I got through it, and now it feels like a little bit more of an accomplishment than filling up any other notebook would feel, because I kind of had to push through some annoyance. Going in, I kept in mind how easy it would be to tear pages out of this journal as I went along if I wanted to finish it up quicker, which I was a chronic page ripper outer when I was younger, but I overcame that desire to rip out pages, and I did not pull a single page out of this notebook. I wrote or glued or arted whatever on every single page in this notebook and did not pull out a single page, and I'm so proud of myself. That was really hard to resist because it would have been so easy. Alright, and last but not least is this 𝓁𝑜𝓃𝓈 journal from Walmart. It has not earned a name or a cover or anything yet. I've been writing in it since December 17th, so what, 14 days now, 2 weeks, and it hasn't really gotten anything special yet, but I can tell you that this is the most quality notebook that I worked in so far in well, I say so far. I'm not going to work in any other notebooks this year, so this is the most quality notebook I worked in 2024, and I know these notebooks are not expensive. So if you're wanting to pay like $8, $9, maybe $10 for one of these 𝓁𝑜𝓃𝓈 journals, I could definitely recommend it. Super quality. I use my fountain pens in here. I use my markers in here. The only thing I've found so far that have leaked through my pages is my staples. Oh, what is it called? The only thing I found that leaks through the pages so far is my... Man, how did I just... I'm always such a mess. The only thing I found that leaks through my pages on this 𝓁𝑜𝓃𝓈 notebook so far is this Staples Duramark Permanent Fine Liner, which is a shame, but it's okay. I don't have to use this pen in the notebook. And I also used my dip pen. I used my dip pen with this Aurora Borealis ink the other day, and you know, my pen just holds so much ink that it did go through the pages a little bit, but not enough to deter me from using this in my journal again, so that's why it's still really handy. Personally, I kind of like how ghosting looks. I'm not a big fan of feathering on notebook pages, but ghosting, as long as it's not extreme, I actually quite love ghosting. Let me see if I can show you a page where I ghosted through the pages with my Aurora Borealis and dip pen. Right here, this is my dip pen right here going right through, but this is also like where I re-inked, so it was a little heavier than like towards where I'm getting low on ink in the reservoir. And this is what like the dip pen and the writing actually look like. So yeah, right here where I reloaded, you can see it's a little darker in a couple places. This is the part that showed through on each side is where I reloaded, and where I had a little bit heavier ink coming out of my pen, like when I rotated my pen and it got a little heavier. You can definitely tell where those spots are, and those are the spots that showed through, but like I showed you, they're fine as long as you're not super particular. I'm not super particular. It's fine. So this is the journal I'm heading into 2025 with. This is my page that's set up for today. I'm going to add a little bit more to it. This mortar and pestle here, this is actually just for a joke I made yesterday. Thanks to my patrons. This would not have happened without my patrons. I was at the grocery store the other day and they already had their Valentine's candy out, and I love Sweet Tarts Conversation Hearts so much, and I haven't had them in years. I have not had them in years, so I bought us a bag. And I made a joke about crushing them up in a mortar and pestle and snorting them. I think I'm so funny, but yeah, Sweet Tarts. So we had Sweet Tarts yesterday, and that was awesome. I love Sweet Tarts so much, and you could probably tell how happy I am to have had them for the first time in years. Like, I think I'm still, like, kind of on a sugar high from them, honestly. All right, one more thing before we go. And that's the journal that's the honorable mention. This is my book journal where I logged all the books I've read in 2024. I will keep using this into 2025 and probably a couple years into the future still to log all my books. But yeah, I definitely filled up some pages in here. Let me see how much I filled up in 2024 with book stuff. This is when I was sick, and I read a lot when I was sick, which was like May, June, July area. Oh, I went through so many books then. April. Am I still in 2024? Yeah, I did read a lot. Holy moly. Here we are, 2024. Those are my book pages in my book journal of 2024. I'm probably gonna just actually, when I'm done filming this, gonna sit down and turn this into my 2025 page, because I will not be finishing a book today. And then tomorrow when I flip my page, and maybe tomorrow I'll finish the book I'm currently reading. Maybe it'll be a couple more days. It's not the best book I've read recently. It's called Earth Abides by George R. Stewart. I'm not impressed, but it did get a little better, around 40%, so I have hope for maybe it catching my attention again. But that'll be the next book I write down in 2025 when I turn the page. A little disappointed in all the Harry Potter stuff I have in here. Like I say all the time anymore on this channel, I don't like Harry Potter anymore. It was ruined for me. But, you know, it's still a part of what I was into at the time, so I guess it's not the worst thing in the world to have it all in here. Yeah, if you want to see more of this journal, you can actually check a recent video I made about it. I think it was actually my most current video before this one. So yeah, I hope you check that out if you're interested. I don't plan ahead on what journals I'll be using in the new year. Plus, I always allow my patrons to vote on the next journal I use. If that's something you're interested in, definitely check out my Patreon. You can get to that through the nerdjournals.net. I do share pictures there for free members and sometimes polls for free members, but most of my polls do go to my paid members of Patreon. So if you're interested in voting, definitely check that out. And because of the voting is why I really can't show you which journals I'm going to be using in 2025. It's kind of up in the air. I don't know which journals I will be using in 2025, but I can tell you, usage-wise, as far as the tools I'm going to be using, I've been really into my fountain pens again lately. I know for a long time I've been saying on this channel, oh, I'm going to start using my fountain pens again someday, and then I never do. I did actually start using them again, and not only my fountain pen, but like you heard me talking about my dip pen a moment ago. I've been using my Lamy Safari. I have inked that barrel up 3, if not 4 times now, and I've completely emptied it. I have been using my 𝓁𝑜𝓋𝑒. I filled that up once, and it's probably like 3/4 empty by now. I ordered a couple of cheap pens off of Temu, a couple cheap fountain pens. I'm probably going to have to buy converters for them, but they do come with a refill, I believe, at least to start me out. I'm looking forward to receiving those. Those should be here in the next couple days. If you're interested, let me know and I can show you guys on this channel. I can show you not only my Temu pens that I'm ordering and waiting for right now, but I can also show you like my dip pen. I could show you this better, and I could show you my other fountain pens if that's something you're interested in. Plus, I have an ink collection of maybe 4 or 5 bottles of ink. I don't have a huge collection. I'm not a prolific pen buyer. I'm not a prolific journal filler. I know some of you guys fill journals and buy fountain pens, and y'all put me to shame. But this is what I have to share. I'm content. I'm content with what I have, and I'm content with the work I've done in my journals. I maybe didn't come out as mentally healthy as you think filling up all these journals would in the end, but it definitely, writing in these journals definitely made me feel better in the moment, so I guess that's something. But in the end, I don't feel like I've changed much. I don't feel like I've overcame my fears and anxieties that have been rocking my world in 2024. I've just been in such a rough place, and journaling isn't helping, therapy isn't helping, medicine isn't helping, and I'm doing my best. And I guess if nothing else, I have little hobbies to be grateful for, like journaling and making art and talking to you guys. Thank you all so much for being here. If you're interested in supporting me, you can hit up my Amazon wishlist or my Patreon. You can get to both through the nerdjournals.net. Thank you especially to my absurd nerd patrons, Dana and Whitney. You guys, I'm gonna get emotional. I just, Thank you. And everyone watching, I hope you have an amazing 2025, or if not amazing, I hope you have the 2025 you deserve.